So for the longest time, I always thought that the normal footbeds that came inside my ski and snowboard boots, they were more than enough. I didn't need anything special. I never needed orthotics in my regular street shoes. I never had any foot pain. The fit was okay. I had to maybe work on them a little bit. But the moment I went from something like this to something like this, the fit was better, my boots were more comfortable, and it will be for you too. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mountain Vibes. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by, and consider subscribing if you're into ski and snowboard related tech videos, and at least in that way you're not going to miss any time I put up a new upload. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the importance of getting an aftermarket footbed. So what I mean by that is you're essentially going to be chucking this cheap little piece of foam that comes in your boots and getting yourself one of these. Now, as I said in the intro, it did feel like a bit of a gimmick for the longest time. I always felt that when I was, selling boots to people, that it always felt like it was a bit of a push, a bit of like an upsell. But until the day that I actually wore something like this, not this particular model or brand, but my feet were significantly happier. And if there's a lot of foot issues that you have, these will help alleviate a lot of the problems that you actually have with your boots. So pretty much in today's video, I'm going to be going over all those important facts, and it's essentially why you need to be getting yourself one of these. All right, the main reason for getting rid of the insole that comes with your ski or snowboard boot and replacing it with an aftermarket one is overall support. A lot of the footbeds that do come with your boots already, there's not a lot of support that they actually provide. They're just little bits of foam slightly shaped, just so that there's a footbed inside the boot. Then when you actually move into an aftermarket one, they're a lot more rigid, especially under the arch area. It's going to prevent your arch from wanting to collapse and fall over. And especially for those skiers out there, when you're actually wanting to turn, you're putting a lot of pressure essentially on the ball of your foot all the way back to your ankle area. And if you have nothing underneath, your arch and your foot is going to fatigue very, very quickly. So if you want like optimal performance out of your boots, you're essentially going to have to get one of these. And if you're someone with, let's say, a high arch, when you actually don't have any support underneath your foot is going to want to fall and collapse just naturally because there's nothing underneath it. And also when that happens, you will get a lot of strain on your foot muscles. They're not going to be able to relax. So when that happens, you find that your feet may fatigue a lot quicker, and everything just starts from your feet and goes upwards. So if your feet are always, like, let's say, aching, you can work your way up to, let's say, to your calf area or like your soleus muscles on the front of your shin. Everything is just straining, and if you don't have the proper base, it's just all going to start crumbling from the bottom up. Biggest reason for getting one of these is support. And as well for the snowboarders out there, especially if you're someone who actually has a very wide stance, once you start doing this, your feet will start to kind of go inwards a little bit. And if your foot is collapsing inwards this way, you are going to want to get a little bit more support just to tuck it under, to once again align everything, to go from your foot up to your ankle, to your knee, to your hip. It's just going to make everything fit significantly better. Next biggest reason is the actual shock absorption. If you notice on the bottom of this one in particular, you'll notice that there are a lot of key areas of foam that they actually put in. This is where a lot of the pressure actually goes on the bottom of your foot. So if you look back to the actual old ones, as I said, there's nothing to these things. They don't provide shock absorption at all. They don't provide any support. So once you actually move into something like this will once again reduce a lot of fatigue on the bottom of your feet. Now, there are different models. Some of them may offer a little bit different foam in certain areas just to help with vibration reduction. And once you eliminate the vibration, your feet are going to be a lot more relaxed, and your feet are going to end up being not as tired by the end of the day. Another great thing that these footbeds actually do, it helps keep your foot in line. So by meaning that, say once you put your foot into a boot, and say if you have like a slight pronation, meaning that your foot wants to collapse inwards, once that happens, you may get a lot of rubbing on your inside ankle. So once you actually get a footbed like this, instead of your foot sitting flat and falling over, the support that you get will actually help bring the foot more into an actual neutral position, and it just makes your feet and your leg fit a lot better into the ski boot. Once again, keeping everything in line, and that will once again reduce a little bit of pressure on the inside of your ankle. Another thing what these do is, because there's actual support, your foot may actually end up fitting slightly shorter inside the boot. If you are sitting, let's say, flat in a boot like this, and there's no support underneath your foot, your foot's going to want to go out and it's going to want to sprawl out a little bit more. But if you actually get a proper support underneath your foot, and instead of having the foot wanting to collapse underneath, it's going to bring it up a little bit, and it may actually shorten your feet, because instead of your foot wanting to do this, it's now wanting to sit in a more natural position. So buying one of these will also help and improve the overall fit of your boots. Now, in regards to fitting these, they come in, let's say, multiple different sizes and styles. With this particular one here, they come with a low, mid, and high arch profiles. So depending on your foot, you would essentially end up buying one of these. Now, in terms of length, a lot of them are already pre-cut or pre-sized depending on what your boot length is. So this one here would be like a 25. So this would be 25, 25.5. This will all fit in perfectly. But like, let's say if your arch comes a little bit further out, what you may have to do is you may have to size up on the footbed. So then that way the support comes a little bit more far forward. And then all you would have to do is just trim the toes down a little bit, just so then that way in the toe box area, this will actually fit inside your boot. Essentially, if you buy this and it doesn't fit your arch properly, it's not going to be any aid to you. If anything, you're just going to be screaming at your feet all day. So essentially, if you are someone with, let's say, like a low arch, and you buy like a mid or a high arch one, you know, this is going to really be jamming into the bottom of your foot, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience. Or on the other side, if you have a very high arch and you have no coverage at all, what you'd have to do is then you have to either add some more padding into it, just so then that way, like, your foot doesn't want to fall over. You want your feet to be able to sit comfortably inside the boot. You don't want to have them collapse all the time. And at the same time, if you are one person, say, extremely flat-footed or has an extremely high arch, what you may have to do is go get the custom shaped ones or custom molded ones. Now, they're a little bit different than orthotics. They're not going to be as expensive. They will be a little bit more money than the pre-shaped or pre-molded ones. But once you have something that actually fits the bottom of your foot and you put it into your boots, as mentioned, it will be like night and day. Your performance will be a lot better. The fit is going to be a lot better. And there are a lot of other minor issues that these actually do help out with. One of them is, cold feet. Because what's happening there is, if your foot's wanting to collapse all the time, it's not allowing to relax. You're not getting the proper blood flow going through your feet. So you put one of these in, it allows your foot to relax a lot better. And then therefore you're getting a lot better circulation. And then you will, with the circulation, you're going to end up getting much warmer feet, because you are actually getting proper blood flow to your feet. Another big thing is, as I mentioned earlier, because of now having your foot actually supported with the arch itself, it's going to allow to help draw your feet back a little bit inside the boot. So therefore, instead of having your toes like all crunched and curled at the end, it's going to bring them back just a little bit more, because your foot is now actually properly supported. So essentially, that's a quick video for me for today. It's, as I said, it first started out, it sounded like a gimmick getting one of these. But then for the last several seasons, I've actually been wearing actual arch supports inside my ski boots and in my snowboard boots as well. And the fit and the performance that I get out of them is significantly better. I don't have to worry about like my feet sliding around. I don't have to worry about like my arches collapsing. I do notice that it is a much more snugger fit, and everything just seems to be more in line as well. So that's it for me for today, everybody. If you got any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you are not already. Support your local ski and snowboard shop. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ooh.